Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are doing a love it or leave it. These are kind of my quarterly activewear check-ins where we do some mini reviews, some favorites, and some quality updates. And this is the first video officially that I am filming in the new place. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I moved to Los Angeles, California. I know, surprising. Main reason we moved here was because of Ian's job. Second reason we moved here is because Arizona heat was slowly killing me. And that summer seasonal depression in Arizona was no joke. And I was not having a good time. So now we are in much cooler weather. I have a whole move-in vlog coming explaining more details on all of that. And you'll still probably see one or two more videos back in the old place just because I tried to like pre-film stuff because I knew moving would be busy. But yeah, so I'm going to be playing around with some filming angles. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it this direction. I might film the other direction. So let me know what you guys think of the background. I don't really love that you can see my computer here. So we'll see. But today we have a couple exciting mini reviews. We have some new pieces from Ptula, some of which I'm wearing right now, and Kamo Fitness has come back from the dead. And we have a new launch from them, including some wide leg pants, which everyone has just been dying for recently. So without further ado, let's get into the mini reviews. Okay, I feel like I just have to start with Kamo Fitness. So if you guys didn't know, Kamo Fitness, I've been reviewing them for like so long, literally since their very first launch. And they were always my favorite affordable brand because their quality honestly matched things that were like twice the price. They just had such great fabrics, simple designs, and just pieces that I just was constantly recommending. And they kind of took a little hiatus. All of 2024, I feel like I barely saw anything from them, and we have not had a launch from them since I think like December, November, which was a loungewear collection that I honestly didn't really like. It didn't fit very well. So they're back with their Lunara collection launching on August 11th. And they did make some slight changes to the brand, including some price increases, which honestly, I feel like it was always coming for Kamo because I really do feel like their pieces match the quality, like I was just saying, of more mid to high price point brands. So they're not going to be as pricey as like Buff Bunny, Alpha Elite, Ptula, but I still would no longer consider them in the like true affordable activewear category. For example, their new leggings are going to be just under $50. So I feel like it's approaching like Honor Active pricing, maybe a little bit less. I'll confirm with them, but I believe I still have my discount code, I believe 5% off. I'll put any updates on the screen. The shorts are $35 and these sports bras and tops are still around like $28, under that $30 price point. So they're definitely still leaning towards the affordable category, but they are increasing the prices a little bit, which is definitely a bummer. But if they were never affordable, I honestly probably still would have been shopping them and loving their stuff. They also said they're just focusing on really increasing the quality, choosing higher quality fabrics. They now ship exclusively from the US, and they're also changing their launches a little bit. They did have stuff on Amazon previously, but now they're only going to have their socks, their basics, and a few of their legacy styles on Amazon. I think like their Serenity, things like that. But all of their newer collections will be on their website only. So that's a little change. We'll see how it goes. I haven't tried on any of my pieces yet. Some pieces look promising, some not so much. So let's get into it. So everyone take your seats. Okay, to kick things off, we have to start with the Lunara Flow pants. So as you can see, it's giving comfy, definitely feeling similar to the Honor Active soft motion wide leg pants. I am working on collecting a bunch of wide leg pants for a wide leg pant review because I know you guys want that, but I just feel like we're gonna be getting some from some of my favorite brands like as soon as I post a review. So I just wanna make sure we have enough to do a nice comprehensive review first. So I got a size small in these, and these were $48.98. Also, if you're wondering why I'm kind of sitting forward on my couch, so Pinto actually claimed this couch before me, so I gotta sit around him. Normally I'd be sitting a little more comfortably, but he's having a good time here. So they're only launching them in one inseam currently, and they are 34 inches. And when I first started getting into wide leg pants, I didn't quite understand the inseams at first because I remember buying the first Honor Active collection and it was like 33 inches for the regular length. And I didn't really understand that the wide leg pants, they kind of like have to settle a little bit and you end up losing like a couple inches off the inseam. So even though these are 34-inch inseam, first of all, I measured on mine 33-inch on the red ones. I'll measure the other ones just to be sure, but these probably will be a little short for me. So fingers crossed that they're not. And this is a new fabric from them. I'm not sure if they're calling this the Lunara fabric or not, but it's a very lightweight, feels like kind of a naked feel, almost sleek, but very matte. So it honestly does kind of remind me of Honor Active Soft Motion, except maybe a little bit less brushed, but you can tell the fabric has a lot of density to it. Here's an up close of the fabric. You can see it's really not shiny, but doesn't really have any brushed feel to it. So kind of a lightweight summer feel for these. We have a straight across waistband, high rise, rise, no front seam, triangle gusset, no top band or anything here. And then in the back, we have those Camo Fitness silicone K logos, curved seams in the back. I will say the quality is definitely looking good so far, but I did have quite a few little loose strings and things that didn't compromise the integrity of them. But with the whole price increase, I was kind of like, this seems like kind of like a lot of little loose strings. But it's not like the stitching quality is actually like messed up. It was just little loose things that could be cut off, but you guys know what I mean. Anyways, curved seams in the back, just a straight up seam. Very simple with no scrunch or anything here. We do have a side seam. Then these are a true wide leg, maybe a very slight flare. I really hope these work for me because I love a wide leg pant. Let's try them on. Okay guys, I chose this as my filming background. This is my closet and it's like semi-sheer, so let me know if you like this as the background or just the plain wall over there where I feel like the lighting wasn't quite as good because the light comes in here. So again, just getting my filming situation figured out. But anyways, here are the pants and the waist is a little low, but these are totally giving Honor Active soft motion pants. Like the soft motion pants, I think the waist was a little bit higher, but guys, I love these. The one thing I would change is I would bring up the rise just a little bit. For me, this is like a mid to high rise. If I just had half an inch more, I feel like that would be the perfect high rise right at the small of my waist. But a lot of people are looking for this rise, so I'm not gonna ding them for it. I just would personally prefer a little bit higher. We have that double thickness waistband. Nothing is cutting in here. Everything is kind of low compression, naked feel, feels very soft. I'm actually really liking this fabric, especially for a wide leg pant. I feel like this is a great fabric choice. No front seam and no crotch tension or anything. On these straight leg pants, we do have a side seam. On the other leggings and shorts, we do not. And then before I show you the bottom, here is the back. We have curved seams that sit just right above the glutes. So these are gonna be more medium glute friendly, maybe even medium to short glute friendly because they sit maybe a tiny bit low for me. You can definitely put the seam up the glutes, make it nice and flattering. They are not a scrunch or anything, but I still feel like we're getting a good medium to high on the booty scale. So here's the full length view of the pants. So I love the fit of these. They flare a little bit lower than the Honor Active pants and some of the other wide leg pants, which I actually think works better because I feel like they're not gathering up as much. The Honor straight leg pants, I feel like they flare right below the bulk of my thighs. These are starting to flare kind of 2/3 down my thighs. So they still kind of give that like contour to the glutes in the back. So they still kind of accentuate the glutes because they're tight enough there, but they're not riding up as much. And you can see this is the 34-inch inseam and they're actually basically a perfect length on me. I could maybe do a little bit more, but I think even with shoes, these would be an acceptable length. So let's try a couple squats and see if we get that riding up situation. Yeah, I feel like they still are much longer and I'm only getting a little bit of that riding up. So I think they did an amazing job on these pants. I would just love some extra inseams to see a shorter option for my shorter girlies and maybe even a slightly taller option just because with some movement, these could get a little bit short, but I'm a big fan. Okay, a little length update. I feel like I just adjusted these a little bit, but I do feel like the 34-inch is just a little bit short for me after doing the squat test and just kind of like moving around a little bit more or just a little bit short. So again, with wide leg pants, you kind of lose about 2 inches to the little ride up effect that happens. So a 34-inch wide leg pant fits more like a 32-inch flare, if that makes sense. Next, we have just the regular Lunara leggings. These are a 26-inch inseam legging that basically have all the same features of those wide leg pants, except they are a classic legging. So no front seam, triangle gusset. In the back, we have those curved seams, no scrunch, silicone logo, and this one has a no side seam. Let's try it on. All right, here are the leggings. Again, mid to high rise. It's kind of growing on me, guys. I feel like if we just had a good sports bra, then I would really like this collection, but unfortunately the bottoms just are where they shine. So mid to high rise, low compression, naked feel, but they're not super slippery. So I'm hopeful that these will stay up. I do feel like the waist could be brought in maybe a little bit, specifically on the leggings, because with the wide leg pants, those tend to stay up well, and then shorts tend to stay up well, but leggings, I could see these sliding down a little bit. I will pop on with an update if I have one. Yeah, just gave it.
We don't want to rate first, top or bottom.
Well, one is clearly worse than the other.
Yeah, for sure, but what do you want to rate? That's why it has to do what we want.
Okay, rate the leggings first.
Well, it's either me or the logo is completely off-centered and like...
Is it really? I don't think it is.
It looks...
It's literally not.
in the seam, it's like some weird, it doesn't look straight.
Okay, and not important.
Okay, the leggings are 7 out of 10.
Okay, what makes them not good?
A little too low rise. They're just like, they're like fine. There's nothing like special.
Okay.
The bra.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad. It's like, I'll be generous.
Why is the bra in the middle of my waist?
It's like a 3, if I was being generous, I'd say a 3.75 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's not flattering, no.
It's not, yeah, okay, I'm not crazy. Because literally, this is the bra band that should be like up here.
Yeah, and even then, it's still, the cut of it's bad.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I've been walking around in these a little bit, and they do feel like, for the most part, they could stay up, but I do feel like slight risk of sliding down. True to size, if you're in between, could really do either way. I'd probably lean towards sizing down just to make sure that they don't slide down. No side seam on these, and we have those curved glute seams in the back. Very flattering back here. I'd say medium to high on the booty scale. You're not going to get a lot of cellulite coverage in this fabric because it is that thin, naked feel type fabric. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't expect a lot of cellulite coverage. Got that logo in the back. And then these are a 26-inch inseam. They fit a little bit shorter, even though I did measure 26. I feel like I usually get a little bit longer of a 26-inch inseam. Like it just fits a little bit longer, but this is fitting a little bit shorter. So kind of a true 7/8 length on me. I think that these are basic, but I think for anyone who's been looking for a lower rise, I do feel like the quality's good. Nice, soft, naked feel material. Just a little bit too low rise for me. Just showing some other colors here. Next, we have the Lunara shorts. I got a size small, and these were $35.98. Same rise as the flow pants and the leggings. No front seam, triangle gusset, 6-inch inseam. Something about camo is they're always gonna give me my 6-inch inseam shorts, which I love. Curved seams in the back. Very simple, no side seam here. Okay, here are the shorts. I feel like this is all just very much giving On Active soft motion with like their kind of slightly lower rises, but camo always kind of had a higher rise. So it's nice to have some options. So I just kind of pulled those up the glutes a little bit. We have that same kind of mid to high rise, but no cutting in or anything, very comfortable, but they feel like they're going to stay up very well. No top band, no front seam, 6-inch inseam, fave, and I'm not getting really any sausaging of the thighs here. We have some nice give to that thigh seam at the bottom, so they'll be thick thigh friendly. And then in the back, again, kind of more, I would say medium glute friendly, because once you put it up the cheeks a little bit, it kind of sits in the right place. So medium glute friendly, leaning towards shorter, but not quite short glute friendly, if you know what I mean. We have those seams that contour above the glutes, nice medium to high on the booty scale. We have that naked feel, low compression, but again, it's not giving like saggy. It's still hugging to the body well, which I like. Definitely true to size. If you're in between, could really go either way. So I like these shorts. I prefer a higher rise, and these personally don't beat like the Featherlight Enhanced for me, just because those fit me a little bit better. But I do think if you're looking for a more sleek, lightweight option with a lower rise, these are really nice. Then we have our top options. This one is the one that looks more promising to me. We have the Lunara Halter. So we have this V-neck halter top made of that same lightweight fabric. This looks like it's gonna be kind of like a waist length top, so fingers crossed, because a waist length top flow pant combo, chef's kiss. Unfortunately, it is a halter. I can make exceptions for some halters, like I do wear my Ingia halter bra pretty frequently, but if there's a choice between a halter and a non-halter, I'm gonna go no halter every day of the week because my neck just doesn't need that strain. But we do have a full built-in shelf liner with removable cups on the inside. Let's see how their cup pads are doing. Honestly, I don't have a lot of camo sports bras that I love. We do have a cup pad improvement here. I was a little nervous to see this shape of cup pad because I do prefer oval, but this is very similar to the cup pads that like Buff Bunny and Alphalete use, that they do have some structure, but they have a lot of flow to them. The little ventilation foam pads are my favorite because they just kind of blend in the best out of all the cup pads. All right, let's try it on. Okay, since I kind of was figuring the other top wouldn't work out, I really hoped that this one would. And the fit is actually perfect. Again, I've been struggling with tops recently that have just been really loose on the waist. This fits well, but I feel like the top part is just looking a little bit off. So let me know if I'm crazy, but I feel like this is just a very narrow V and everything is just brought in too much. Like the side boob is crazy on this. Makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable because I really wanted to love this set, guys. I did. But I don't know, sometimes Kamo's tops, I feel like I didn't usually have fit issues with them, but a lot of their old bras were just super itty bitty micro. I could never even try to wear them. So I was hopeful that this would work. You can tell it kind of fits everywhere, and then just a little bit too much room here. I feel like sometimes that happens with halters in general. So that's not them per se, but I would have liked just a more basic top. Oh, you know what they need to bring back? They need to bring back the high neck Ellen tanks. This is one of my all-time favorite tops. I still wear them all the time. It's a similar kind of waist length built-in bra, but the fit was just like immaculate on these. So I would have loved to see this exact top instead of the halter. One other thing, they do have the tearaway tags that tear away pretty easily. I kind of like tearaway tags in that they're easy, but I prefer to have the sizing information and everything actually printed onto the fabric on the inside, because sometimes I forget what size I have. And this is probably just a me problem since I have so much activewear, but like sometimes I'm like, oh, what size is this? And I'll never know because the tag is gone. All right, anyways, coverage on the top, I would say medium coverage just because we're actually pretty covered in the middle, but a lot of side boob. Support is very low. The bra portion actually does fit. So it is true to size. Again, fits along the waist, true to size there. And I would say that this is between a waist and a high hip length. If you have a shorter torso than me, probably gonna be more high hip length, and you're not gonna have this little bit of skin showing. But for me, this is just like so little that I would consider it basically no skin. So true to size, if you're in between, can kind of do either. I'd probably size down just because the bra area feels like a little bit loose. And then we have the back nice and open for the halter. I just feel like this top, it had potential, but it's just fit is kind of off. And then the next sports bra, I took this one out of the bag and I was literally opening it up in front of my mom and my jaw just like dropped to the floor because I was so confused. And she just started laughing because she was like, wow, you can really judge something very quickly. This is the Core Bra, and this is just so huge. And this bra, I just have so many questions. This could totally change with me trying it on, but first impressions are not good with this one. I think just because there's so much coverage for like a simple racer back bra, and they also have no cut pads in this one, which they had cut pads in the last one. And it looks like it's gonna be a long line, but it only has an elastic along the bottom, and the elastic is like a 1.5 to 2 inch elastic. Like if you told me this was like a size large, I would believe you, but it's a small. So I just feel like something is off with the proportions of this bra. We're gonna keep an open mind when I try it on, but something just looks really off about this one. We have the scooped neckline here. Again, we have the elastic along the inside. It's just very, very wide elastic. I'm glad it's a hidden elastic though on the inside. We have the silicone logo in the back. And like I was saying, there are no cut pads or anything. I just feel like it's an odd choice to not have cut pads in this one when the built-in bra top had cut pads. So let's try it on. I actually don't understand anything that's happening with this bra. It's actually really bad, guys. It's really bad. Like it just doesn't make any sense. I know that they are trying to step up the quality. This does not feel like a well-designed bra. Even for an affordable brand. I just posted my AliExpress review and someone was like, oh, it doesn't seem like you're very hard on them. And yes, if something is more affordable, obviously you're just going to excuse a few more things. Like if I'm buying a $100 pair of leggings, they better be impeccable. If I'm buying a $30 pair of leggings, I want them to be good. But if there's a couple little things that you're just nitpicking, like if you're saving that amount of money, it's fine. Even for $30, this bra is just not good. I don't understand. Okay, so first of all, we have the bra band that would normally go under the bust. It is literally in the middle of my waist. This is where it starts, way down here. My bust ends up here. So you get absolutely zero under bust support. So, and I don't really think it's meant to be worn like up here because then the straps are incredibly long. And I just don't really understand it as a long line bra because with long line bras, you normally have the underbust support and then a little bit of fabric that goes down the bottom. So I just have so many questions about this bra. Anyways, we do have that scooping neckline. And then my second confusion about this bra is that there's no cut pads. So we're not looking good. I'm not feeling shaped, supported, or really anything, but we do have full coverage because full side boob coverage, scooping neckline, but not really any cleavage. The support is low support because the bra band that's giving support is literally halfway down my waist. And then the back, we just have a racer back. I feel like I could excuse like, you know, if it just ran a little bit big or something. The whole fit of this bra is just completely off. It's such a disappointment because I've been waiting so long for Kamo Fitness and then this is what I get for a bra. So bummed. Bring back the Allen high neck tank and everything will be okay. I guess my last thing I forgot to mention is sizing. I would say it's true to size mostly. Runs a little bit big, but even sizing down is not going to fix the issues that I'm having here. So again, I just wouldn't recommend this one. And then lastly, they kind of threw us for a loop and included one pair of seamless shorts. So they do look promising though. These are the Poise shorts. I measured about a 5.5 inch inseam on these and they are a seamless short. So they have this ribbed waistband and it is a sewn on waistband, but just because it has seams doesn't mean it's not seamless because seamless refers to the actual knitting of the fabric. So it is still a seamless style short. We have curved seams in the back and then we do actually have a hidden scrunch up the back. Honestly, these kind of remind me of the recent Paragon seamless leggings, except a little more dense of material. So we have that little logo kind of embroidered into the fabric there, or not even really embroidered, it's kind of just embossed. And then here we have that hidden scrunch. The material is kind of more of a sleek performance seamless and there is no marl to it. And I guess I'll have to ask about the fabric composition because I think I may have torn off the tearaway tag. But yeah, here's the inside of the shorts. You can see there's an elastic sewn up the back rise to create that hidden scrunch effect. So let's try these on. Okay, here are the seamless shorts. I feel like these have a lot of potential, but they are snug. So first of all, same like mid to high rise, very on theme with this collection. We have that seamless ribbed waistband that's providing quite a bit of compression. I'd say overall I'm getting like medium to high compression out of these. I love a compressive seamless short, one of my favorite things, but I do feel like this one is a little bit snug. So if you're in between sizes, or honestly, just even if you're not in between sizes, consider a size up. 5.5-inch inseam. So these do run just a little bit shorter than I personally prefer. Also, I am getting a rug in here, so I shouldn't have so much echoiness. So I apologize if we're getting some echoes right now. Because they're running kind of small, they are compressing my thighs a good amount. You can see they're squeezing there, they're squeezing back here. So for my thick thigh girlies, these may not be the choice for you. And then in the back, I think they're very flattering. I really like the choice of this kind of hidden scrunch in the back. Again, I had only seen this. Oh, hello guys. Peach would like to say hello. She and Pinto are chasing each other. I'm so proud of them because when we moved to Arizona, it took them like a month to get comfortable, and we've only been here for a week and they're already so comfortable. They're playing with each other. Oh my gosh, she's like staring at him so hard. Okay, sorry for interrupting your fight, girl. You go get him. Anyways, I love this type of hidden scrunch. I feel like it's the best way to like do a non-shiny seamless hidden scrunch because it just looks like a normal seam. I'm not getting that shine. I would say medium to short glute friendly again. High on the booty scale. They're not squishing the cheeks down at all. I really like these shorts if the sizing was just fixed. I think if I just got a medium, honestly, they would be really good, but I would also like to see some leggings, maybe a seamless bra. And if these were a little bit longer, I would expect a little bit of cellulite coverage because they are just a little bit more on the compressive, dense side. All right, my next mini review is for Ptula. We have their Neutral State collection coming out on July 28th. So I feel like I might be posting this on July 28th, maybe the day after. I don't know, we'll see how fast we can get everything done. Pinto, I'm sorry. You guys, Pinto really did not want me to film here. Look how small he is. Sometimes I just don't realize that he's literally like 8 pounds. How are you so small? Okay, well now I have the couch to myself. Anyways, Ptula just has a little lounge drop. It's the Neutral State collection. We have some ribbed tees, some terry shorts, and sweatshirts. So we will get right into it. We're gonna start with the Terrysoft crop zip. Ptula has also been doing some rebranding stuff. They've been kind of renaming their fabrics and just focusing on fabric naming a little bit more. So this is a new material for them, but this is all called the Terrysoft. It's a midweight French terry that's a 51% cotton, 49% polyester, and I used to kind of be a terry hater because I was like, why aren't they soft on the inside? But I've actually kind of learned to love terry materials because they tend to be very durable and a little bit more lightweight for summer. And now that I'm in California, I literally wore this sweatshirt on a walk the other day in July. If you've lived in Arizona, you understand just what a 180 that is from the weather there. For reference, when we'd be walking at 8 p.m., it would still be 100 degrees. So I'm thriving. Anyways, I got a size small and this is $66. And here's the Terrysoft on the outside. It still does have that classic soft sweatshirt material, and the inside is that French terry. So you have those little terry loops, and it's not as soft as a fleece lined sweatshirt, of course, but I actually do still find it pretty soft. And I feel like it has a good drape to it. And just keep in mind, since this is a cotton polyester, there's no spandex, so there is no stretch to it. It just has a little bit of give. So it's kind of a high hip length sweatshirt. If you guys know me and Ptula, we just see eye to eye on where our sweatshirts should end. So I love the length of this. We have a full metal zipper. Unfortunately, they chose to not put pockets on the sweatshirt, which I'm like, for a $66 sweatshirt, I'm gonna need some pockets. So I was very bummed to see the lack of pockets. We have kind of an oversized sleeve situation, little ribbed cuffs, an oversized hood. Let's try it on. All right, here is the sweatshirt. I really love the fit of this and the material. This one, I feel like I could live without the pockets just because I do have the pockets in the shorts. But yeah, here we have the oversized hoodie. So it is pretty oversized, but the material has good like flow and drape to it. So it doesn't feel too oversized. So like something like the Pop Flex Cloud hoodie, that one was super oversized and very structured. This one has more drape to it, so it just like looks a little bit more slouchy and comfortable. In terms of the length, you can see it goes over the folded waistband a little bit here, and my hip bones are about right here. So they're a little bit above high hip for me, but I still wouldn't fully consider this cropped. It's just my ideal sweatshirt length because it just ends right where the shorts begin. So it just looks very intentional with the length, but if you like a full length sweatshirt where it goes over your hips, over your glutes. You're definitely not gonna like this. Here we have the zipper. I will say over my time wearing it this week, it does get like a little stuck at the bottom. And actually that was very easy this time, but I have had a little bit of trouble with the bottom of the zipper, just kind of getting it in there. So sometimes I don't love Ptula like hardware quality. So I feel like this gets stuck less than their Sherpa jacket, but still like a little bit. Sleeves are a full length, a little bit extra space. And then we have those ribbed cuffs. Again, no pockets, kind of a disappointment. I like that you can kind of wear it open like this and expose that terry. And then we have that oversized hoodie in the back. One thing I do notice about the oversized hoodie is kind of like those Lululemon jackets. I feel like I've seen TikToks about people talking about this where they kind of like are very back heavy. And I do feel like that's happening. You can see it's lifted up a little bit here because the hood wants to just like weigh it all down back there. So I do feel like I have to kind of like bring it back here a little bit. So that's just one thing I'd notice in terms of sizing. I would say stick with your normal size. You could probably size down one size, but I wouldn't size down any more than that because then the bottom ribbed area would get a little bit snug. So stick with your normal size, but it's gonna be a little bit of a slouchy fit. Next, we have the Terrysoft oversized sweat shorts. And these I got a size small again, and they're $48. I have a love-hate relationship with these shorts. I love what I wanted these to be, but there's some key things I feel like these shorts are missing. Anyways, same fabric as the sweatshirt. We have an elastic waistband. We do have pockets on the shorts at least. Very happy to see that. These are honestly very simple. The inseam is 3 inches, and the pivotal mistake they made on these, no pockets on the sweatshirt, no drawstring on the shorts. And they made these like white oversized. So if I don't roll the waistband down, they literally just like fall off of me. I just feel like these had so much potential. Like, you guys know my Alphalete Very Terry shorts, ride or die for those. Like, I loved those so much. I thought this was a nice like simpler version of that, but the no drawstring does really get me. I will say I have been living in this set for the past week because a full length tank cozy short combo is like my ideal lounge set, but the sizing really got me here. So anyways, let's try them on. Okay, guys, here are the shorts without me rolling the waistband. Like, do we see that they just feel like they're huge? And I know they're oversized, but I was not expecting there to be no drawstring. So imagine my surprise when I put these on and they were just kind of hanging like this. I know this is a vibe for some people. It's just not really my vibe. I prefer something to, you know, be a little more fitted on my waist so it actually stays up, and it can be oversized everywhere else. I'm good with that. But yeah, so unfortunately I don't think I could get an exchange in time for this to go live. So I would recommend sizing down, or you can opt for rolling the waistband. That is how I've been doing it because it does fix the problem for the most part. It makes these into kind of more of a mid-rise short and obviously takes the length up a little bit too. So you do risk exposing some cheek. I would prefer the length a little bit better if I didn't have the waistband rolled there. So just keep that in mind. I'm a little torn on my recommendation for these shorts because I have been wearing them and I do find them very comfortable. I just kind of feel like they're lacking some things. We have those little pockets, which have been good for, you know, storing my phone and things like that. The material is very soft. I feel like it has a good drape to it, but still has some structure. And then in the back, one of the other things, they did recommend rolling the waistband, but the tag sticks straight up. So you can tuck it in, but you can still kind of see it a little bit. So here's how it would look in the back if I didn't have to roll the waistband. Lastly, we do have a little Ptula sweat drop logo in the bottom left. Very subtle branding. Much prefer this to some of their past loungewear branding. But yeah, I feel like these shorts could have just been really improved with the drawstring. Next, we have the Essential Rib V-neck tank. I got a size small and this was $36. I am wearing the other color right now. It's made of a 60% polyester, 34% rayon, 6% spandex. So it's actually a great material. I love when some rayon is incorporated into a top like this because it just gives it a lot of flow. It almost gives it like a cool to the touch feeling. It's very soft and it has this nice ribbed texture. Using up close with that fabric, it's got a good amount of stretch. It does sheer out a little bit in these colors. I didn't have an issue with the sheerness, but just keep it in mind. We have tank straps, racer back, and it's about a high hip length. I do feel like this one runs a little big as well, so let's try it on. Okay, here is the ribbed top. I actually love the material of this one. I think it's so soft and it actually fits for the most part, like snug on the bust area and just like a little bit of extra space throughout the waist. Like I feel like the fit would be perfect if it weren't for the straps. So you also notice I'm just wearing a regular bra under this. Unfortunately, this is a racer back and the straps are quite thin, so it's a little hard to hide any sort of bra underneath it. And honestly, I find regular bras more comfortable than sports bras for lounging around all day. I know, call me crazy. stretchy. So personally, I just don't care if my straps are showing because honestly, I'm just wearing this at home. So this is how I've been wearing it. But the one thing with this top, I've been wearing it all week unpacking and things, and it just really wants to slide down like that because the straps are just kind of crazy long. So that's the only reason I would consider sizing down. So I would say true to size. If you are concerned about the straps, I think you could size down because it is so stretchy. It'll just be a lot more snug and not really a relaxed fit. So just keep that in mind. In terms of the length, we can see with the shorts how low they go, but the top is a nice high hip length. So when I roll the short waistband, it just kind of fits perfectly on top of that. That's like the one reason why I wanted to love this lounge set so much, because for once we don't get like a crop with shorts, we get a full length top. So it's kind of everything to look for, but unfortunately the strap situation is not great. And then in the back, we just have that racer back. Very soft, very comfy. All right, lastly for Ptula, we have the heavyweight cotton tee. I got a size small and this was $40. It is 100% cotton. Compared to something like the Alphalete heavy cotton tees that we had a couple years ago, I do feel like this is a little bit softer and has a little bit more flow to it, but it still definitely is a structured cotton tee. Crew neck, definitely oversized fit. This is a women's size small, and I feel like this is kind of like a men's medium or women's large, but definitely meant to have those oversized vibes. I don't actually even see any branding on this, so let's try it on. All right, here we are with the heavy cotton tee. This is going to be the full length option. Honestly, I just prefer the little tank. It's just more my style, but if you like a heavy cotton tee, honestly, I think the cotton's really nice. It is like $40 for a t-shirt. So I think I see a little bit more value in the tank just because it's a little bit more unique, but it's definitely not bad. So keep in mind, this is a size small, so it is pretty oversized. Honestly, I will probably just crop this myself to fit like right there just because I don't really wear shirts that go over my butt, but it's definitely a super, super full length. So just keep that in mind, but it's definitely a very comfy, cozy set together. You could even like tuck in the front of the t-shirt kind of like that, or tuck in pump cover style, kind of tuck in the back of the shirt just to give you a little bit of shape. And my last mini review brand is Ingia. You guys know I've been loving Ingia, and they did just launch 2 new pieces this month that I wanted to share. This is the Pima cotton tank. So it's just a very lightweight 92% Pima cotton, 8% elastane. So it does have a little bit of stretch to it. Kind of a crew neckline with a muscle tee fit. We do have the Ingia logo on the top of the back neck area. And they also have this little ruched side detail where you can tighten this little loop and it kind of scrunches up the sides if you want to go for that look. So let's try it on. All right, here we have the tank. The length, I would say about waist length. It's hitting right to where my belly button is, which is a good length. Nice and lightweight. I love how flowy this material is. And I love that they added a little bit of elastane in for some stretch. And then on the sides, this is the side that I did not ruche up, and this one I did a little ruching. So the more ruching you want, you can kind of pull that up. You could always tie a little knot at the bottom as well if you want that ruched look. I would say true to size for a slightly relaxed fit. If you're in between sizes, you could really go either way. And then here's the back, just very simple, plain layering piece. And lastly, they launched their first little onesie romper situation, which I was very excited to try. They do have other colors. Unfortunately, I got the black, even though it's a little hard to review, but I got a size small. It is their polyamide lycra blend. I think it's just made of their classic Cloud Luxe fabric, which is what most of their pieces are made of. We have a scooping neckline, spaghetti straps, a little scoop in the back as well with crisscross straps, and they are adjustable. We do have some curved seams in the back. It is just a 3.5 inch inseam, and with bodysuits, I feel like I tend to take up a little bit more of the inseam just because I have a longer torso, so it's going to be a little short on me, unfortunately. But I was very happy to see that they have a full built-in shelf liner with removable cups. I got a size small. I feel like sometimes they run a little bit big in the waist, so hopefully this works, but let's try it on. Okay, here's the bodysuit. Not bad in some ways, but not perfect in others. So first of all, the top and the support is actually much better than expected. The little built-in shelf liner is actually great, giving me pretty good medium coverage. I would say still like low to medium support, but I didn't even really need to adjust the straps too much, and it feels very long torso friendly overall. So loving the fit of the top. We do have a little seam that divides the waist that goes right about at the small of my waist here. And then the back, I wouldn't really consider this too much of a low back. It just kind of dips down, honestly, to the bra band area. So not super low. We have those adjustable straps there. And then it is a little bit loose as suspected along the waist area. I just feel like that could have been just a little bit tighter. So still, I would say true to size, but keep in mind the waist area, I feel like just a little bit big. And then I'm getting no crotch tension, but the 3.5 inch inseam is just really too short for me. I think I could maybe wear this to like a solid core workout or something, just because I don't really care if my shorts are short there because it's all dark and usually all girls anyway, so I just don't really care. But personally on my bodysuits, I prefer like at least a 6-inch inseam. So yeah, it's cute, but just a little short. All right, moving on to the favorites section of the video. First of all, we have this little sunscreen favorite. This is my favorite little sunscreen invention to bring on any vacations. Really what inspired me to talk about this is I went on a walk the other day, you know, enjoying my new California sun and being able to walk in the middle of the day without dying. But since I'm so used to walking when the sun isn't up in Arizona, I kind of forgot about scalp sunscreen. I put sunscreen everywhere else, but I forgot to put sunscreen on my scalp. So now I have a scalp burn. This is the Sun Bum Scalp and Hair Mist. I know it's just probably regular sunscreen just in this little bottle, but it just really works. Basically, it's just this little spray bottle and you just spray it up and down your scalp and it just protects your scalp. I think it was only $10 or so. It's lasted quite a long time and you could probably just refill it with other sprays, but I just love how convenient this little thing is if you're like out and about for the day. You just make sure your scalp is sprayed, because if that scalp is exposed, it's just getting that direct sunlight. And I am a sunscreen girly because if you see this skin tone right now, this is all fake, okay? I'm normally pale as a ghost, which means I burn and I need sunscreen. All right, favorite number 2, you guys already know, but the Ptula High Flow pants restocked last month and I now have 4 pairs of these pants and I truly just don't wear anything else. I have been living in these. They are just the best pants to ever exist. These got me through my move. They are the only pants that I can wear in the summer in Arizona because they are just so flowy. And I know I've talked your ears off about these flow pants on my Instagram stories and in my review that I had of them, but I just truly love them so much. And it wouldn't be a fair favorites video of recent favorites if I didn't mention these pants because I truly love them so much. And I've had all 4 pairs on rotation, just only those for the past month. Another favorite that restocked recently, Alphalete restocked their Aura Sculpt jackets, and I recently talked about these in my best active jackets video. I just love this jacket. It's such a unique jacket. I think it was the only jacket in that video that didn't have a mock neck. It has this kind of like Mandarin style collar, so it doesn't come up too much on your neck and it's just a little bit different. I love that it has thumb holes, it has zipper pockets, it's a locking zipper, and it's a high hip length. So it kind of has everything I'd want in a jacket. The only thing is that it could be a little bit tighter on the waist area, but because this material is so structured, it still kind of works. So I just love my Aura Sculpt jacket. And if you missed it the first time, they did just restock. All right, and the last section of the video is quality updates. I feel like mostly everything has been doing pretty good recently, so I don't have too many quality updates, but I also realized my video review of these shorts isn't going live until after I post this one. Again, I pre-filmed so that I'd still have videos for you guys after I couldn't film for like 2 weeks of moving. So spoiler alert, my next video is a Bandit running review, and I really loved these shorts. I kept them, and then I don't know, you guys know I'm pretty careful with my stuff in the wash. I usually wash everything inside out. Anything with a zipper or Velcro, I put in a delicates bag so it can't damage anything. I don't even know if this is from the wash or not, but I kind of assumed since this was a performance material that it was going to be pretty durable. But I've worn these twice and I have like a couple pretty bad snags on them, and I just was a little bit disappointed at them. I still think I'd recommend these because I actually really loved them for running, and maybe this was just like a fluke thing. But yeah, I was kind of bummed because these were quite expensive and they've already snagged, and I feel like this is not a snag that I could easily fix. Okay, you guys, that is it for today's Love It or Leave It. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you made it this far, and if you like my Love It or Leave It videos. Also make sure to comment any video requests down below. Since I just moved, I haven't planned my videos for the next couple months yet, so make sure to put in your requests. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about any of the launches or anything down below. I love you guys all so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!